All right, so you want to lose some weight. Well, in order to do that, you got to be in a calorie deficit. In order to be in a deficit, you need to know what your calorie intake is supposed to be. In order to calculate that, you need 4 things: height, weight, age, and optionally your body fat. Once you have all the information, what do you do with it? Plug it into a calculator. Where do you find that calculator? Well, I got you. Look at that. Free online calculators. Any calculator you can think of, including Calorie calculator. So from here, you'll plug in all the information you need, and it's gonna throw out a bunch of numbers at you. In general, this will give you an idea of what your caloric intake should be. Whether you're trying to lose weight, gain weight, it's gonna throw some numbers at you based on your activity level. You need some base of reference in order to build out your diet plan. And this site, Calorie Calculator, it's probably gonna be your go-to. There are some apps that you can pay for. It'll essentially throw these numbers at you and also help you keep count of how many calories you're eating. But we ain't got money to throw around. So this, as a first-time resource, would highly recommend. Once you get into the habit of knowing your caloric intake and doing a good job of staying under it, that's when you get to that next level. Cutting out meals, for me, helped me drop from, I think, 300 pounds down to the 250 mark. And then once I threw in exercise, cardio, I went from 250 to where I'm at now. But for me to take it to that next step, to really get that gym physique, that shredded look, I have what I call a diet plan. So I didn't go to someone. I just used that calculator to get me some numbers, and I put that number on an Excel spreadsheet so I can sort of plan out what the next 6 weeks would look like. 6 weeks being a good number, more or less, of how long you should stick to a routine. Every week, I'm gonna weigh myself once, and so long as I don't need to make any adjustments from now until the next 6 weeks, using the numbers from that calculator, I have a game plan of what is going to get me to that 10% body fat. So here you can see where I'm starting. So I'm going to start the 30th of this month, and all these numbers here, I did get it from the calculator I just showed you. I have it planned out all the way up to week 6. So with this number in particular, for my weight, it should bring me down about a pound a week. I don't want to push it anymore. That's what the weekly weigh-ins are for. If I'm losing more than a pound a week, then I might be going too strict on the diet, so I can loosen up, give myself an extra couple hundred calories to play around with. But for the most part, this is the number that I'm going to try and follow. I have about 2 days, so that's Saturday and Sundays, where I'm allowed just a little bit more wiggle room. They call that zigzagging. It's sort of supposed to help you stop from plateauing. And once I start actually weighing myself in, this is the number that's going to determine whether or not I keep this number here. So this is all sort of theoretical. Like, you have to actually weigh yourself and keep track of the progress. And also paying attention to how I feel. So if I do actually feel hungry during the course of me trying to stay around the 2300, it might be a number I readjust. So all these numbers I pulled from the calculator, including my macros. There was also a protein calculator on calculator.net. So that resource, if you don't have a nutritionist, if you don't have a dietitian, that's sort of like, you need something to base off your plan. And I would really, really recommend you getting into the habit of going to calculator.net, plugging in those your information, and trying to play around with those numbers and figure out what's going to work for you. Because so far it's been working for me. And these are actually numbers I'm going to show you guys as the weeks go by. So hopefully things go good, and I'll see you in the next one.